When we talk about rock artists who really should retire, one name keeps coming up again and again: David Lee Roth. Not because of his legacy, and that part is untouchable, but because watching him perform today raises an uncomfortable question. At what point does defying age stop being brave and start being painful?
Girl, you really got me now. You got me so I don't know what I'm doing. Girl, you really got me now.
If you want to see where things truly started to unravel, we need to go back to October 2020. I'll show you some more clips, really embarrassing, but first take a step back.
This is my chance to fly.
David Lee Roth was never a technically strong singer, and that matters more now than ever. Even during Van Halen's peak, his vocals relied on attitude rather than accuracy. He slid around melodies, avoided sustained notes, and used swagger to get through songs. Back then, it worked. Eddie Van Halen's guitar dominated everything. The band moved at breakneck speed, and Roth's chaos felt intentional. Missed notes became personality. It came from momentum, but once that momentum fades, there's nothing underneath to hold the songs together, and that's exactly what we're hearing now, even more pronounced.
Well, the kid is into losing sleep, and he don't come home for half a week. You know, it's more than just an act.
So, to understand how bad it's become, we need to go back to October 2020 during Roth's Las Vegas residency at the House of Blues. This was supposed to be a farewell. Instead, it felt like a warning. Night after night, he struggled to finish verses, slipping into spoken lines and off-time shouts while backing singers quietly carried the melodies. People noticed immediately. Clips spread fast, and the reaction wasn't excitement. It was concern. Then came May 2025 and the M3 Rock Festival in Maryland. This was his first major live return in years, and the footage shocked people. During songs like Panama and Ain't Talking About Love, Roth missed entrances, skipped lyrics, and reshaped phrasing mid-song just to survive. At several points, he stopped singing entirely and let the crowd take over. This wasn't a bad night. It wasn't technical trouble. It was the same struggle across multiple songs and multiple angles. The band kept playing. Roth looked lost. The energy was still there. The voice wasn't. And once you see that contrast, it's impossible to unsee. What followed made things worse. The reaction shifted. This stopped being a debate about taste and turned into disbelief. Fan-shot clips flooded social media, and the comments all sounded the same. This is painful. He's completely lost. Why is nobody stopping this? Even longtime Van Halen fans admitted they couldn't get through a full song without wincing. The dominant emotion wasn't anger, it was embarrassment. Watching someone who once owned the stage now chase his own songs felt wrong. Yes, there were defenders. There always are. But the defense has changed. Instead of praise, people started offering excuses. At least he's having fun. It's about the vibe. It's not as bad as people say. When the conversation stops being about performance and starts being about justification, the damage is already done. What makes this harder to watch is that David Lee Roth doesn't seem unaware. He seems unwilling. In October 2021, he announced he was throwing in the shoes, calling it his official farewell. Then the shows were canceled. He disappeared, and then quietly he came back. Since then, he's joked about being in his first retirement. treating the idea like a punchline instead of a decision. He still speaks as Diamond Dave. He still frames everything as part of the act. The persona never switches off.
And some people are saying he looks like Uncle Baby Billy.
Send out my voice, Jerry. Send it out. Come on, baby.
He's not even singing.
Smile, that smile.
What?
Walking away wouldn't just mean ending shows, it would mean letting go of the identity he's lived inside for decades. I don't think this is about money or relevance. Performing is how Roth proves to himself that he's still Diamond Dave. The problem is that the stage no longer agrees. This is also where it stops being just about him. Every time Roth walks on stage like this, Van Halen gets dragged into it. You can't separate the two. When people watch these performances now, they aren't thinking about Van Halen 1 or the explosion of the late 1970s. They're thinking, is this really the guy who sang those songs? And that's dangerous, because the longer this continues, the memory shifts. The atmosphere inside the room has changed too. The crowd starts hopeful, ready to celebrate history. Then something slips. A missed entrance, a lyric that never arrives. A chorus that collapses halfway through. Cheers soften into laughter. Phones come out, not to capture greatness, but to document confusion. The show stops being fun and turns awkward. So, yes, in my opinion, David Lee Roth should really stop singing right now. Not because he failed, not because he wasn't great, but because he already won. Continuing like this doesn't add anything. It turns a legend into a spectacle. Walking away now wouldn't erase his legacy, it would protect it. Sometimes the bravest move isn't staying on stage at all costs. It's knowing when the story is over and choosing not to ruin the ending. Do you agree? Let me know in the comments.
Between my legs, ease the seat back.